Hello, this is Way of Cookies 56, and this is episode 3 of my How I Do Modding tutorial series. And last tutorial we did the workspace setup, so I've got this weofcookies.tut package. So what we're going to do this tutorial, we are going to make the basic code, and I think I might fit this in this tutorial. I'll do the blocks and the items and maybe the proxies. We'll see. So first of all, you want to right click the package. You want to go new class, and this is going to be called tutorial. We'll call it main. It doesn't really matter what you call it. With Kingdom Keys, I just called it Kingdom Keys. So, yeah. So now you have this class, very blank. First thing you want to do is have a couple of things. Now what I like to do, well, first of all, I will make this. It's going to give some errors. We want to do @mod brackets, and then name equals. And what I like to do, I like to have a separate class where I have all these things. So it's going to be called reference, and you do reference dot, and it's just going to say some random things, and I'd call it mod. Oh, no, I can't type. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to do a comma, mod ID equals, and then I'm going to do the same thing, reference dot mod underscore ver, I just got ver because I can't balance the right version, and then, oh wait, that's next, isn't it? Roll fail. We'll just do that. Reference dot mod underscore ID, so that's mod ID, and then I want to have version equals, and that should be everything. It's going to give a lot of errors. First of all, I want to import mod cpw.mods.fml.common. That'll fix some errors. These will still be here. I'm going to save it. It's going to give a lot of errors. Doesn't matter. Make a new, in fact, you can do this. New class, and then set the package as .lib reference. And in here we want to have public static final string, and then we want to have mod underscore name equals, and we'll have semicolon, and then make sure you have it in speech marks, and we'll call it tutorial mod. Next thing we want to do is do a public, in fact, I'm not going to type this out, I'm just going to copy and paste it, and then change it to mod ID, mod there. And then want to change this to, I'm just going to make it 0.0.1. And then for the mod ID, it's just going to be mod ID in lowercase. And that is that done. Then you just want to, if I press Ctrl Shift O and then finish, it should import everything. Why is it not doing that? Oh, I see. It's imported the wrong thing. Control Shift O. Oh yeah, I need to select it, don't I? There we go. Make sure you import the right one. And there should be no errors. And then the next thing you want to do, oh, why is that there? Is at network mod. Oh. Then in brackets again, I'll import it now. And then client side required. Yeah, space. And then equals true. Server side required equals false. No. Oh my god. There we go. And that's all that in that part. Next you want to do, what is it? At event handler. And then public void free init fml pre initialization event. So that's quite a lot to type. I want to import that. Make sure you spell it right. If you don't, then obviously you're going to get an error. Make sure you capitalize each thing. And then you want to have a curly brace, whatever they're called. And that is the pre-initialization, which is where you can do like the configs and items and blocks and everything. And with the, I'm going to copy and paste this because you're going to have to do it three times, but this one will be init and this one will be post init. So the pre-init is when it's loading, the init is like when it's loaded, and the post init is like when you're in the game. So you want to change this to post, and this one to just initialization, and import those as well. So that is like the bare bones of the mod class. Now with things like blocks and items, I like to do those separately, like not in this class, because then it doesn't take up as much space. So what I do is go new package. In fact, I'll just do new class, and then I'm going to do package, let's call it, we have cookies 56 dot tut dot, we'll do blocks first. I just got dot block. And the name, I like to call it this added blocks. And then here we want to make, first of all, we'll do a public static void. I think it's this. And then in it, blocks. So in here you'll have all of the like stuff that makes the blocks. And I'll just leave that like that. So you want to do this public static block, and we'll just call this tut item. And if you want to have multiple items, instead of making like a huge list, we'll import net.minecraft.block, dot block. Don't import any of the others. And if you want multiple ones, instead of having a huge list, you can do this, have a comma, and then you could have like tut item 2, and that works. But I'm not going to do that, I'm only going to have... Wait, it's block, isn't it? You know what I mean though, block, whatever. So you want to do... what is it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not so great at remembering. I want to do tut block equals new block tut block. So that has to be the same as that one you've just declared. You can actually do like public static block and then do that, but I like to do it separate. You know, do it how you like. Everyone has their own style of code. This block tut block is the class name. You can actually name that anything you like, but I like to just with blocks add block to the front and have the same as that. So in here you're going to have two parameters. There is, first of all, the ID. Now I will just set it in here, but when we get to doing the configuration handler, it will be different. But anyway, I'll do the ID. Because it's a block, it has to be in between 0, or probably don't want to do 0. Probably want to do it over 256 to 4096, unless you are going to, like, unless you're generating a biome with that block or like a dimension. But you'll get an error here because they haven't made that class. So ID, I'll do 2000, comma, and then you want to do the material. So material dot, what should we do this? Material dot cake. I'm not sure if I need to, I might, well, just to be safe, I'll just do wood. Next, once you've got that, just put semicolon, because that's all you need. Unless you want to do the language registry, which you probably do. Do the language registry dot add name, and then tut block, and then you want to do the name, so I'll just call this I'll call it tutorial block. And that is how you make the name of the block. Like that is what appears in game when you hover over it in the tooltip. So just make a note of that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the same line. Also want to do game, like space, game registry dot add. No, it's not add, is it? Register block tut block, comma, no, inside the brackets, comma, and then you're gonna have same sort of thing. Wait, I won't do that. I'll do it lowercase. Tutorial block. But actually, I'll show you what I normally do. I'll keep that like that, but I'll make this class called strings. Oh. And this will have public static final string, and then tut block equals, and then tut block with lowercase first and then uppercase second. So then we want to do, instead of that, strings dot, there it is, And that should automatically import it if you did it like that. Next, we want to make the class for the block. So, create a new class, and it should already have the name. Probably, oh yeah, it will be actually, never mind. And then, yep, it extends block, add that, and you can leave that like that because it does, all of that is set in the added blocks class. So you can change it all in one class, all your blocks, and that makes it a lot more easier than going through each class and changing it. Now, the stuff that I do add in the class is normally the creative tab. So this dot set creative tab, and then we'll do creative tabs dot tab blocks, or block, whatever, and then semicolon, and that is one of the vanilla tabs. I will make a tutorial on how to make your own one, but that is not this tutorial. So after you got that, you want to do this dot set unlocalized name, and then I just do this as strings dot top block, and then semicolon again, and then the next bit you want to do is okay, this bit is quite a long bit, and I never remember this because of that. So I am looking at my code. If you couldn't tell that I am actually looking at something. First thing you want to do is side only, side.client. I do remember that, I'm just, and then public void register icons, and then icon register part 1, icon register, and then curly braces. Then you want to import that, and then block icon equals, probably need to import some, no, why is that doing that? Oh yes, silly me. Override. That's why. No. Oh. Why is it moaning at me? Well, I'll do this. Let's see. Part 1. Icon register dot register icon reference. So this is getting my mod ID. Has to be lowercase as well, so just make sure it is. You can actually do something to make it in lowercase. I can't remember what it is exactly, but I know there is a way in Java that you can set stuff to lowercase. But then you want to do plus and colon, and then you'd have this dot get unlocalized name. So that gets what this unlocalized name that you just set, and then dot substring this dot get, and you want to do the same thing, get unlocalized name. So you can see it's getting quite long now. Dot index of, and then dot +1. And that should be everything, although for some reason it's still giving me an error. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. If I save it. That is also randomly... Oh, no. Don't know why this is giving me an error, and it's really silly. Right. Change. Oh, that'd be why. Oh, silly me. That is giving an error for some reason. That's... Oh, okay. I didn't see that. So that's everything. I'm not going to do items because this video is very long and I can fit it in the next one. I'll do proxies and items in the next tutorial. But I'll show you where to put the textures once you've done this, because that is everything. You have here this place. Now obviously you don't want to, you can open it, I think, yeah, open and you, oh no. Open, show in, no. Okay, just go back to desktop, modding, source, modding tutorial, resources, assets, mod ID, textures. So with that mod ID, just to tell you, that is what I set as my mod ID. If you set it as something different, which you probably will, because you basically want to have it unique. Maybe use your name, maybe not, because it will conflict with other mods and you never want that. But I'm going to go in your blocks folder, your textures, so just make sure you got that. I did show that in the last tutorial. And then I'm going to quickly make a very, very bad texture. So make sure, you can make it high res, but you'll probably want to do 16 by 16, tiny little texture, and we'll make it blue with a face that looks a bit weird, like that. It's not even, but I don't really care. And I'll just call it, well, make sure you call it what you set it as in the strings file. So it was tut block, and that's, you're gonna go desktop, modding, source, modding tutorial, resources, assets, mod ID, textures, blocks, save. So that's there now. Close that. Want to go back in that, and what I want to do here now is just simply right click the resources folder, refresh, or you can press F5, but I just do that, and then we will run it, and it should have the block texture now. We go in new world, creative, yeah. Shouldn't take too long. This is a quite long tutorial, but it should tell you some stuff. And the block is not appearing. I know why. Sorry about that. I know exactly why, and I always forget this. One very simple thing. This will not work unless you do something. You do this, basically. You go added blocks dot init blocks. So that's the method made in here, init blocks. Make sure that's there, because normally if you did it just in the, you'd have that in here, but obviously that's kind of messy, and just this looks a lot nicer. I mean, obviously code doesn't need to look nice, but it's nice to be organized and you can find things easily. So we'll do the same with items in the next tutorial. Very similar process. just without the material and some other stuff like the registry things. So if I look in here, it says tutorial block, and it has the texture, and I set it in building or tab blocks or block, which is the building blocks tab. The other ones, like the names in the code are slightly different to what they're called, but it should be quite obvious which one's which. And I don't think you want to set it in tab search, because it does just come up, what is it? Yeah. It does just come up by searching anyway, so you don't need to set it as that. So that is everything for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, or you hope it helped. And the next tutorial we'll be doing items and proxies, and I think that's it. So see you then. Goodbye.